call came at 2:17 a.m. I remember the exact time because I was still awake, scrolling mindlessly through Instagram trying to quiet the ache in my chest. My little sister, Aaliyah, had been missing for 5 hours. When the phone buzzed, I jumped. It was an unknown number. "Hello?" I answered, my voice tight. There was silence for 2 seconds. Then a voice, shaky, broken. "Hira, it's me," Aaliyah whispered. I shot up from the couch. "Aaliyah, where the hell are you? What happened? I need you to come. Please don't call Mom yet." She dropped a pin. It was a motel, the kind with flickering neon signs and weekly rates. I drove like a madwoman through the dark, my heart racing the entire way. When I opened the motel room door, what I saw broke me. My sister, my beautiful, kind, innocent 22-year-old sister, was curled up in a corner of the bed wearing someone else's oversized hoodie, her face swollen with tears, mascara streaked down her cheeks. She looked like a ghost of the girl I knew. I dropped to my knees. "Who did this to you?" She didn't answer, just stared at me with hollow eyes. And then she whispered a name I will never forget. Zion. That was the moment something inside me snapped. Zion was the charming, perfect gentleman everyone adored. He had that fake humility, the gym body, the too white smile. Our families had known each other for years. He was 5 years older than Aaliyah, and I had always been suspicious of the way he looked at her. But everyone called me paranoid. "He's like a big brother to her," they'd say. "You're overthinking." They didn't know what I saw. How he lingered a little too long when he hugged her. How he texted her late at night under the guise of career advice. How Aaliyah had started smiling less over the last few months. Now I knew why. That night she told me everything. How he'd lured her in, slowly, like a predator. Promising her mentorship. Opening up about his emotional trauma to make her feel special. He knew exactly how to break her walls down. "He made me believe I was the only one who understood him," she said, voice trembling. "That no one else could see the real him. I thought he loved me." She looked away, shame burning in her eyes. Then last night he asked me to come to his condo. He said he wanted to talk. But the second I walked in, he locked the door. My hands curled into fists. He didn't hit me. Not exactly. But he pushed me. Pressured me. And when I said no, he didn't stop. He kept whispering, "Don't fight it. You know you want this." And I just froze. Tears streamed down her face. I didn't know what to do. I waited until he fell asleep. Then I ran. She buried her face in my chest and sobbed like a child. And all I could do was hold her. I didn't say anything. I didn't tell her it would be okay because I didn't know if it would. All I knew was that Zion had stolen something from her she could never get back. And I wasn't going to let him walk away. The next morning, I watched her sleep in my bed, curled up like she was trying to disappear. That's when I opened my laptop. Zion had no idea what I had in mind. He thought he had silenced her. But he had just awakened me. And I was going to ruin him. Zion's Instagram was full of smiles, gym videos, quotes about loyalty, and stage charity work. He looked like the kind of man every girl wanted and every parent approved of. But behind those filtered photos lived a predator. And I was going to expose him. I spent the next 2 days quietly gathering every piece of information I could find. Screenshots of late-night messages he'd sent Aaliyah, photos she had deleted from her phone, voice notes he left her saying things like, "You belong to me." I didn't tell Mom or Dad. They wouldn't believe me. Zion had them wrapped around his finger, calling him the son we never had. But that was about to change. I created a fake Instagram account, profile photo blurred, username clean, nothing suspicious. Then I messaged Zion. "Hey, I know what you did. And I have proof." He saw the message within 2 minutes. "Zion, who is this?" "Me, someone who wants to make a deal." "Zion, this better be a joke." "Me, you'll find out soon enough." I let the message sit like poison. I knew him well enough to know he'd spiral, try to figure out who it was, panic quietly, and act like nothing happened on the outside. But what I didn't expect was for him to call Aaliyah that same night. I was sitting beside her when his name flashed on her screen. "Don't answer it," I said. But she did. Her hand shook as she pressed the phone to her ear. She didn't say anything, just listened. Hey, listen, Zion's voice came through the speaker. I know things got weird. I was drunk. You didn't say no. And I thought we were on the same page. Have I pushed too far? I'm sorry. That fake apology. That twist of blame. He was already preparing his defense. Aaliyah's eyes welled up. I need you to trust me, okay? He continued. Don't talk to anyone. Especially not your sister. She's always hated me. She'll use this to ruin us. Aaliyah hung up. I told you, I said gently. He's not sorry. He's scared. And he had every reason to be. The next morning, I sent the screenshots, voice notes, and proof anonymously to the HR department of Zion's company. I knew they had a strict harassment policy, especially for client-facing roles like his. Then I sent everything again, this time to a popular Instagram page that exposed sexual predators in professional spaces. Within 6 hours, his name was trending in local circles. People started talking. His gym removed his photos from their wall. The women he flirted with online unfollowed him in droves. Brands he worked with on the side began distancing themselves. But it wasn't enough. I needed him to feel it. So I did one last thing. I invited him to a cafe. Texted him from a burner number, pretending to be someone else. Someone with leverage. He showed up in a black button-down, hair slicked back, face calm, but his eyes gave him away. They darted around, scanning every corner like he knew something was off. I sat 2 tables away in a hoodie watching. He never saw me. When he left, he found a manila envelope on his windshield. Inside, printed copies of every message he ever sent Aaliyah. And a note. You touched the wrong girl. That night, he deleted all his social media. He thought that would make it go away. But then came the police report. 'Cause Aaliyah finally found her voice. She filed the complaint. And now it wasn't just about rumors or online posts. It was about justice. And Zion? He had no idea what was still coming. Courtroom was cold, clinical, and yet somehow suffocating. Aaliyah sat beside me, her fingers clenched around a tissue, her face pale but determined. It had taken everything in her to walk into this room, to face him in front of strangers and tell the truth. Zion sat across from us in a gray suit, freshly shaved, trying to look composed. But I saw it, the flicker of fear in his eyes, the twitch in his jaw. He wasn't the calm, charming man everyone once adored. He was unraveling. The judge called Aaliyah's name. She stood, trembling. I wanted to stand with her, but she held up a hand. I've got this, her eyes said. Her voice shook at first. But as she spoke, something inside her unlocked. She told them everything. The manipulation. The pressure. The gaslighting. How he used her trust against her. How he twisted love into control. I kept quiet because I didn't want to ruin his life, she said, tears running down her face. But then I realized mine was already ruined. The room was silent. Even Zion looked smaller now, like the words stripped him of his arrogance, peeled away the image he built for the world. But the twist came after the testimony. The judge asked if there were any new pieces of evidence submitted. Aaliyah's lawyer nodded. I'd like to submit this, she said, pulling out a new letter. It wasn't from Aaliyah. It was from another girl. Anonymous. Different city. Same pattern. She'd heard Aaliyah's story online and came forward, too scared to show her face but brave enough to write every horrifying detail. Zion had done this before. A different name, same method. He had done this to more than one woman. Zion's lawyer panicked. The room shifted. The judge took a recess to review everything. And when we stepped out into the hallway, Zion walked right up to us. You think this is justice? He hissed. This is just revenge. Aaliyah stared at him, calm now. Almost eerily so. No, she said. Revenge would have been me ruining you without mercy. This is me giving you what you gave me. Fear. Shame. Powerlessness. He looked at me next. I always knew you hated me, he growled. You're jealous. That's what this is. I smiled. Jealous? Of a man who preys on girls half his age? You're not powerful, Zion. You're pathetic. And now the world knows. Purity moved him back. 2 weeks later, the court ruled in Aaliyah's favor. While criminal charges were still pending, Zion was removed from every client-facing position in his company. Several other women came forward. His reputation was shredded. His face became a warning, not a fantasy. But there was one thing left. The family. Mom and Dad had always loved him, defended him, blamed Aaliyah's bad choices or emotional instability. But when the truth came out, when the evidence piled up, their silence became shame. One evening, Dad sat in the living room, eyes watery. "I didn't want to believe it," he said, his voice cracking. "Not because I trusted him, but because I didn't want to admit I failed to protect her." Aaliyah hugged him, both of them sobbing quietly. It wasn't perfect, but it was healing. Weeks passed. Aaliyah started therapy. She cut her hair short, a new beginning. She went back to school, started writing, and even launched a blog to help girls recognize signs of emotional manipulation. And one night, she handed me a small envelope. Inside was a letter, written by her. "To the girl who feels like no one will believe her, I believe you. Your voice matters. And even if the world ignores you, you are not invisible. You are not broken. You are not alone." I folded the letter and smiled. She had been silenced once. But now she was unstoppable.